Once you've signed up to the tracker, you receive an update via an SMS notification with the web link. When the client clicks on the web link, up comes this page, and they're required to enter in a 6-digit PIN code. So this is the PIN code that we have received. We enter it in, and then we can go through to see the application. We can see here the update that has been sent to Joe. So an update has been sent in relation to a break and enter offence. The file ID is also displayed. If you don't know what the file ID is, you click on the information button, and this describes what the file ID is. You can also see the action that is required to be taken. So in this case, it concerns a potential termination of a grant of aid, and we're requesting that the client get in contact and respond to the letter explaining why we may terminate the grant of aid. What the client can also see is the process and how long this normally takes. So we're at this stage where we've notified the client that their grant is at risk. The next stage is to assess any response the client provides and then make a decision. What the client can also see is their full application history. So when the grant application was received, assessed, and a decision was made. There is also information about different stages of the process. The scaled up version of the Legal Aid Grants Tracker now gives clients the ability to see all their applications in one place. So here we can see for this client, Joe, that they have 4 applications. 2 applications are current and on foot, and then there are 2 applications that have been resolved and a decision has been made. So let's look at this first application. This is for the break and enter offence. We have the file ID and we have the status. So we're waiting for the client to provide us with more information. The client can then also see the progress, where they stand in this process. So currently the grant is at risk. They can also see the full application history. So the application was received, assessed, and a decision was made to approve in this instance. If we go back and we look at the second application, so this was an application, the last date of activity was the 21st of July, and this is in relation to a transfer request. So once again, we can see the progress of this request. So we've received it. It's then going to be assessed and decided. Once again, you can see the full application history. So this is an application that's been approved, and now we've moved on to the next stage where the client has requested a transfer. We look at the past applications. So this was an application that was approved. You can see the application process. And if we want to learn more about that process, here is information about the application process. Before we were talking about a lawyer transfer, so we can see here further information about the process for transfers. We go back and we look at the application that was refused. Once again, you can see the application process and where you sit, where the client sits in that process. And there are also some common questions and answers to frequently asked questions. So in this case, the grant application was refused, and then there's information about what to do next and who the client can call to get that help. The final section of the grants tracker has a series of questions and answers. It's divided up by themes, starting with urgent help. So what do you do if you're in court? What you can do if you want legal advice. It then has frequently asked questions and answers about the application process, about transferring or requesting a transfer of a lawyer, or finding out who exactly the client's lawyer is. There are also questions and answers about the outcome of a decision, and also the opportunity to provide feedback. So clients can answer a short survey in which they can rate their experience of the grants tracker, and also there's a free text box where they can provide any suggestions for improvement. The latest version of the grants tracker allows clients to nominate a third party to receive updates on their behalf. The third party will receive a text message with a link, and when they click on the link, this page is what comes up. So we can see here that Joe Kramer has nominated me as a third party. Now I can either agree or disagree to receive the updates. So I'm going to agree. Before I do, if I'm not quite sure, I could read some more information about what's involved in being a third party. So then once I've read that information, I have a bit more of an idea of what's involved. I'm going to say, yes, I agree. And then what happens is a 6-digit PIN is sent to my phone. So I enter in the PIN number. And now I'm able to see updates about Joe's application and his grant. So in this instance, what the tracker is telling me is that they've received his application. And once again, you can see where we are in the process. And if I want to know how long is the whole thing going to take, so we have some information here. It's going to take 2 weeks to process.